So I know we left the last episode a little bit unsure where we were going to be coming back. But I'm just going to say there's a lot of games to catch up on, and if all goes well, we might even have a chance of winning the league today. Let's get into it. So starting this episode off with a new youth intake. It says it's a poor intake, but we have apparently got 3 elite talents in there. We all know that elite talents at this level are probably not that elite, but we've got Shane Graham on the left wing who looks fine. He's got decent work rate and determination. Everything else sort of needs a bit of work. He's not particularly fast, but hopefully that will come in time. We've got Adewale Olalekan. Let's go with that. Who is a 6'1" centre back, 15 jumping reach, 14 extra fitness, determination, leadership. He's got 10 tackling. Like he is not bad. He's obviously got some gaps in his game. He is only 16, but looking at how he started, he could end up being not a bad player at all. He definitely needs to get a little bit faster, but it's definitely one to keep an eye on. And Tom Knight at attacking midfield is okay. 8 first touch, 14 teamwork. Yeah, he's fine. I doubt anything will come of it. But we'll see how the youth game goes and maybe sign a couple of these. We have also just got a quick look at Charlie Sippets, who doesn't look terrible. And Jeff McQueen, a right winger. Oh, determination and aggression, incredibly high. But that's kind of all he's got going. A very determined, aggressive and agile player. But I'm sure we will take all 5 of these on. So as I mentioned in the intro, since you were last here, we have played quite a few games. We started off with a 2-1 victory over Edgeware Town. Decided to rest Moncrief for this and play Luciqueno up front, and it definitely paid off. Because when he gets the ball back here, after first losing it, it's a lovely little finish into the far side. Then when the ball falls to Kanina back here, he gets a long ball up to Luciqueno. It's a very weird finish, this one. It definitely looks like it wasn't going that fast and the keeper probably should have been able to get to it, but luckily for us, he didn't. And they did get a consolation goal at the end. Well, it was a little worrying, obviously. Good headers from Hewitt. I don't know where Jackson is. He's caught in no man's land there. But I wasn't too worried. They didn't really create much the whole game. Also worth noting, we don't see many of these, but they did have a penalty, and Tommy Jackson saved it. So I think that's the second penalty save I've seen in this entire save so far, and it's the first one for our team. So that was obviously very nice indeed. Then next up, we played Edgeware Town, and it was 3-2 victory. It was pretty comfortable. I mean, they did have a bit of a comeback in the second half, but it was never too scary. Some unusual goals in this one, actually. In context, we don't see them very often. Like a fantastic Cameron Moncrief free kick. He's not even on free kick duty normally. And then across the back post, and a Cameron Moncrief header. Also very rarely seen. They did get one back from the penalty spot. Libert Hines there. But it wasn't long before Moncrief linked up. Rule, I think it came to Oliver. No, Oliver got tackled and then Moncrief pops it in the bottom corner. And then they do get a consolation goal at the end. A bit of confusing defending here. It just sort of bounces off both the defenders' head. He squares it, which is something you don't see very often in Football Manager. Nice little goal from them. But overall, a very good performance from us. So in the cup game against Tiverdale, we beat them 2-1. And I will say, when I've decided I'm going to do quite an important quarter-final match off camera, when 8 minutes into the game, they score a header at the near post, you just think, I am such an idiot. Why have I done this? This is so stupid. But it wasn't long. I think it was the next highlight, actually. Moncrief gets one in at the near post to equalise, and then a minute later, I believe, yeah, almost exactly a minute later, Rami gets the ball out to S. It gets crossed in. Moncrief slots it in within the 6-yard box, and it was just quite comfortable from there. There was quite a few yellow cards here and there in the second half, but no real chances, to be honest. Next up was the hardest game of the run, and the one that we very nearly came back for, was Walsall Wood. Obviously, Walsall Wood are a very good side. We did sort of play them off the park, but they did get a point off us. Alfieri, which I've actually got Alfieri on my shortlist of players I might try and sign at the end of the season, just a little side bet there. Puts up a fantastic pass, and Johnson just slots it in. But then second half, Moncrief gets the ball. He puts it through to Oliver, is it? Yeah. Oh no, S at the back post, who just smashes it in. It takes him a long time to take the shot, but once he takes it, it's very good. A point is a point against one of the better sides in the league. So I'm not going to complain about that at all. Speaking of performances that I'm not going to complain about, we then came up against Edgeware Town. So they did manage to get 3 goals against us, but it was after probably the best start I have ever seen us make in a game. Well, goal-wise, definitely, but we were just all over them. Second minute, Waldo puts it in. The ball does go around a little bit, but Oliver gets it out to Ratchford, who just powers it past the keeper. Keeper did get a hand to it, actually. I didn't notice that at the time. Then a long ball from Barrel. Lusakaina gets on the end of it and very, very slowly passes it past the keeper. The ball nearly stopped before it went over the line. It was that slow. Then a ball penalty on the 15th minute put us 3-0 up. And then a minute later, Ratchford gets tackled, but it falls to Oliver. Puts through Lusakaina again, and a beautiful first-time finish past the keeper there. Then just before half-time, 35th minute, Waldo puts the ball in, but Forshaw heads it back in, and Wilson finishes it off. Then at the start of the second half, there was a little bit of complacency. The ball falls here to Woodhouse. Tommy Jackson sort of marking the left-hand post and just leaves the entire right-hand side of the goal open. Not ideal. And then 10 minutes later, Woodhouse again gets on the ball, turns provider this time, puts it into Rowe, who's just, you can't argue with that finish. That is a top-tier finish from the young man. But it wasn't long before we got our shooting boots back on. Lusakaina gets the ball. I mean, the keeper gets a hand to it, but it was generally quite a comfortable finish for Lusakaina. And then S gets the ball, puts it through to Morton, who just slots it in the bottom corner. No problem at all. They did get a consolation goal a minute or so later. You can see here, hand fan with a long ball up. It falls to Rowe, who's just... He's a pretty good player. And yeah, fantastic performance. We had 10 shots on target. 7 of them went in. A 4.02 XG. We actually had more possession than them, which is rare. But Bewdley are down in 17th. So I did play a sort of rotated side. I rotated a few positions at the very least. And we still got a comfortable victory out of it. So I cannot complain at all. Then last up, we had a 3-0 victory against Wolverunians. This was pretty much back to a full-strength side. I have been giving Oliver a few more games than he probably deserves because he's not happy at all. Barrel got it to Rule, got it through to Moncrief, who slots it in. Then, actually, at the beginning of the second half, I think it was, 55th minute, almost the exact same goal happens. Rule puts it through to Moncrief, who scores from a very similar angle, in pretty much the same part of the penalty area, it's just obviously the other end. And then Moncrief gets the ball, puts it back to S, who just lovely placed finish past the goalkeeper. That was a very comfortable victory overall. They didn't really create anything in the entire match, and we just dominated. So with all of those games, we are still top of the league, 6 points clear of Highgate United. They have got a game in hand though, so they could bring it back to just a 3-point lead. So it's definitely not finished yet, but we have guaranteed a playoff position. And I think if we win the next 2 games, we will be guaranteed promotion. On top of that, Cameron Moncrief is now the league's top scorer. I mean, Jack Odom hasn't been playing much lately from what I've seen. I know he came on against us. But for one of the most prolific strikers in the league, he has been on the pitch surprisingly little. Nelson Acco still just behind him on 38. These are definitely the 3 main men in the league. I see them scoring week in, week out. And I would imagine Darian Sewell will also be somewhere quite high on that list. He's literally 4th. I'm so good at this. But that does bring us to the Isuzu FA Vase semi-final. I'll get the whole quarter-final roundup. It was all home victories all round. Squaresgate knocked out AFC Sudbury, Avro knocked out Histon, we knocked out Tividale, and Edgeware beat out Mangersfield. So Avro being the team that I was a little worried about coming up against, just because I've seen them score quite a few goals in the competition. So I was quite happy with getting matched up against Edgeware Town. They are in the same tier as us and are in second place. They've had a very good season. They are level on points with Windsor at the top, but Windsor have got a game in hand, so I would imagine that they're not going to be able to get promotion. How has their recent form been? Because I haven't looked at this. Oof. They haven't lost since the 13th of January, which is almost 3 months ago. They've won every single game in that run. I mean, I know this isn't our league, but for the 2 top teams we're meeting on the last but 1 game of the season, that is very juicy. I think we've got a good chance of beating them. Who is their star man? Key player, Carl Oliyide? Carl Oliyide, I'm going to go with. He seems pretty good all round. Like, he's not got anything to stand out. But for probably a striker, I'd imagine. 10 finishing, 8 first touch. He's not slow, he's not weak. He's more than good enough in most respects for this league. He has only got 9 in 25 though. So for that to be the star man of the team second in the league seems a little bit crazy. A couple of new contracts as well. Harry Kent has signed another season with us. I've actually got him on slightly less money. I think he's on £40 a week at the moment. He's got a 15% promotion wage rise, so he'll probably be on 35 next season if we go up. But he's still a cup goalkeeper, and he's more than good enough to have as a backup. We've also got Matt Regan signing for another year. I'm not too bothered about him signing, but I just think because Kanina is probably going to be leaving us because of the promise situation, it's good to have a guaranteed centre-back that we can keep on the books, and he might end up dropping to the bench. I managed to get him down as a squad player rather than a first-teamer, so he's not going to be expected to play every single game. We've also managed to get Cade Ratchford down for another season. He did have a one-year extension on his contract, but I've now managed to get him down for a slightly lower wage. He was on £6 a week before, and he signed with us for another year and has a contract extension after promotion anyway, so he's going to be with us for an extra 2 years. And just to be able to tie down what is definitely our star man stat-wise at the very least, him and Moncrief are carrying this team, quite frankly. It seemed just like a no-brainer. As well, Kai Nicholson is going to be leaving. I am going to delay it 1 week just because it will give us him as a rotation option in the next couple of games. He is going to be on the way out regardless, but I just want to make sure that we get the league tied up before we start getting rid of all of our players. Obviously, a lot of them are going to be leaving in the next month. I'm going to start offering out all of the ones that have got promises. They've got 17 days left. So I think when they've got about a week left on the contracts, I think we're going to start offering all of these out to everyone just for free because most of them aren't going to stay. I might try and keep Kanina and Rami, but I think Kemp, Nicholson and Oliver are definitely going to be going. We've got Tommy Jackson and Ratchford who, I can't really be letting them go. They are too important for the team and they've also got promises, but I'm just going to try and play through those. The problem I've got is I definitely want to keep these two. And I think if I also keep Rami and Kanina, we're going to end up with too much unhappiness in the squad. So you sort of need to try and balance it out a bit. You can have 1 or 2 unhappy players, but I think 4 players that want my head is going to be quite a problem for us. We've also got the youth players being released. So maybe we might have a look through some of these and see if we can get anyone. It's probably He's going to be far too good for us, isn't he? Yeah. I doubt we'd be able to get any of these because these are all really good players. These would dominate our division completely. Yeah, I'll have to have a quick look through these at some point. But first, we will get to the next game. And so I think this is how we're going to be lining up for our game against Edgeware Town. We are still keeping Kant at the back. He's our cup goalkeeper and he hasn't done wrong for us so far. So I just think it's fair to give him the opportunity. And we'll see how it pans out. Apart from that, we are playing pretty much a full-strength side. Barrow, Kanina, but for sure Barrett. Kemp, Ratchford, Rami, Waldo, Rule, and Moncrief. We've had to play Waldo because Romain S is suspended for this game after picking up 2 yellow cards in previous matches. Hopefully that shouldn't be too much of a problem, and it'll give Shiloh Waldo a good chance to shine for us. It was a bit of a toss-up between him and Jack Wilson, but if I've given that choice, generally I think I play Waldo first and then bring Jack Wilson on late because he is so much faster and can hopefully punish the defence a bit more than Waldo probably can just with his raw speed. But yeah, I think we just jump into it. This could be quite a tense match. Edgeware Town have obviously been incredible in the last few months, so this is not straightforward for us at all. Let's boost the defence up a little bit because obviously if they're winning lots of matches, we do want to make sure that we at least don't give away easy goals. So as usual, 4-3-3 for us. And Edgeware are lining up in it's either a 4-5-1 or a 4-2-3-1. I'm not sure what that would be classed as. 53 people in attendance to see this corner for Edgeware early on, and they've got a penalty in the 6th minute. Moncrief put his hands on Barclay a bit too much there. Harry Kant, come on, it's your time to shine. Aliide, and he's just passed it straight into Kant's hands. Oh my god. That was, he's just gone straight up to a 7.7 rating for saving that, but I'd have been more annoyed if he hadn't saved that because it was such a bad penalty. It was a bit of a joke. Not a whole lot's been happening. We're at the 35th minute or so. Is that going to be the only highlight of the first half? Oh no, now Rule's coming down the line. Oh, it doesn't quite find Moncrief though, and now Edgeware on the counter. Can Barrett get a tackle in here? I think that's Barrett. He should be. Yeah, and he can't keep up with Ray at all, but that is a very wild shot. Almost ends up at the corner flag. Pretty terrible. Right, the short goal kick to Canino, long ball up towards Moncrief. I need to just stop this going straight to Moncrief with long balls, but when it does drop over the defence just like that, it's the perfect thing to do. And he scored, pops it in the bottom corner. I really feel like the keeper could have done better there, but I'm not going to complain. Cameron Moncrief's loving life. 1-0 to Chelmsford just before half time. That's what I mean. Like, you put the ball up, if it's going over the defence, it's the best ball in the world. But if there needs any input from Moncrief, he generally just will not win a header. But if you put him 1-on-1 with the keeper, he is scoring. And with the heat map showing up before the rest of the UI, that was a little odd. Okay, we're doing well. We can definitely find another gear. Right, let's make sure our defence and midfield are all buzzing. Do we need to make any changes? I don't think so. Like I said, Shallow Waldo's not been great. Kanina's not been great, but not great and bad are two very different things. They haven't done anything to stand out from the rest, at least. So another quiet start to the second half, but now we've got a goal kick from Kant. Kanina, Ratchford. Long ball up towards Waldo, but he can't quite get on the end of it. It's a long ball over, but Kanina cuts it out. It wasn't really going to anyone important anyway. Kanina gets it away. Moncrief cannot get a header on that, unsurprisingly. But Forshaw can, though. It's beautiful in the air. Waldo, Moncrief. We've got the good opportunity for a counter-attack here. Moncrief's got a lot of speed. Who's that right in the middle? Is that Rule? No, it falls to Waldo. Slams it in. Absolutely beautiful finish. Oh my God. I was really worried about this game, to be honest. And this has definitely eased my nerves, getting that second goal. I'm not sure who Moncrief's passing to there, but it all works out perfectly. Waldo beats the keeper at the near post. Fantastic finish. There is basically a kick-off highlight here, though. Barkley gets the ball up, but Kemp gets on the end of it. Ooh, puts Moncrief through. And he's gone past the keeper. What is going on here? The defender just took so long to do anything with it. And Moncrief very nearly tackled the ball into the net. Oliide is actually on a 5.9 rating. I wonder how much the penalty miss comes into that, but he hasn't done a whole lot apart from that. But they've just hit the post. That's a little scary. Who was that? Shehu, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. Robinson Jones with another corner, and Barkley puts it over. I think I am going to make some changes because I'm getting a lot of pop-ups about players being knackered. Button Forshaw has been fantastic, but he is really starting to struggle fitness-wise. In the same vein, I'm tempted to take Barrel off, but then that's both of my good defenders that have come off. Let's pause the game quickly. Ratchford is also struggling. No, we've got Barrel off of them. Ratchford can come off for Matt Ball. Matt Ball isn't much of a deep line playmaker. I think Rami is the better deep line playmaker out of the two. Yes, comfortably. So we're going to switch those two around and hopefully see the last 20 minutes of this game out. If not, this could be a very interesting extra. Oh, good pass in there, but it can't quite find Moncrief. Oh, the ball falls to Glidia, I don't know. Barrel gets the ball away. Not quite to Moncrief, though. Gives him another chance. Nope. Fails again. Another ball's out on the wing with Summerfield. But Waldo dispossesses him. Beautiful. Another ball up to Moncrief. No luck. Now a long ball up to Robinson Jones. If he squares that, that's going to be a goal. This is what does my head in sometimes. That you'll have someone running down the wing and just one player stood in the middle, completely unmarked, and none of the defence seems to give a shit that they're there. Like, no one's busting an arse to get back. You've got Button Forshaw there just taking his time, but he is knackered, I suppose, and we are going to make all those changes to try and shore things up. Oh, I was just about to change my instructions. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! He's been absolutely awful all game, and now Olihide's got them back into it. It's like 2 goals in 2 minutes or so. I didn't even get a chance to click on the instructions button. I'm not even going to watch it again. Yeah, 2 in 3 minutes. Demand more. Come on, lads. You can get back into this. I've got no subs left, so you're my only options. Attacking? No? I don't really want to go very attacking. Right, last few minutes, let's throw everyone forward. Oh, is this going to be... Oh, it's just go straight to penalties. I was thinking we were going to have a replay, but of course we're not. Right, so Kane Moncrief and Dono Rule, I feel like are two obvious options. They've got the good penalty stats. Matt Ball is anxious, but I sort of need to put him in there because he's our third best. I think we're just going to go in order. I mean, there's not many times when you wouldn't go in order here. Yeah, Howe, yeah, Barrett, Rami, yeah, they'll all just go in order. Okay. We're in front of our own fans here. Make it count. Everyone's looking calm, apart from Matt Ball. Can I actually just talk to him? And just say, whatever happens, give it your best. No, he's still anxious. Right. Aliide. Kant's making him wait. Kant's going to have to run to get on his line. Oh, and he does score this penalty. It's a much better place than the previous one. But Kant does pretty much the same dive he did for the previous one. Just drops to the floor. Moncrief, no worries at all. I'd like for this angle to not be 7 miles from the ball. Can we can we change this camera behind goal? I don't really want behind goal. It's a reversed. That's definitely not a good idea. Let's go with this. Cowley with a run up. Oh, Kant goes the right way, but it's a well-placed penalty. Did I rule stepping up now? Did I rule, and he sends the keeper the wrong way. Fantastic penalty from our left winger. I suppose right winger for this game. Felix steps up for them. And with reflexes of a cat, Harry Kant saves it. Beautiful collection. I mean, it was a terrible penalty. Let's see what nervous Matt Ball can do. And he smashed it down the middle. Brilliant. Keeper dives. Nowhere near it. We're definitely in control of this now. Glenister stepping up. And Kant saves it again. Kant has made 2 saves in a row. He's saved 3 penalties this game. And they've all been absolutely terrible. Right now, Regan steps up. He could win this for us. No pressure on him, though, because we have got another round where we can win it if this doesn't go in. And it does. Keeper gets a hand to it. I thought he'd saved it. But there we go. Absolutely fantastic victory. Our first penalty shootout of the save as well. So that was quite enjoyable. I feel like we were all over them in that game. Apart from... They started off very well. Oh, no, that's the penalty for their XG. Everything else, I mean, apart from this 3 minutes here, I don't think we were in too much danger. They did hit the post once. They had a much better XG than us, but a big chunk of that is from that terrible penalty, so I don't know how much to trust that, really. Yeah, I mean, either way, I'm absolutely delighted that we are through to the next round. Well done, lads. That was a nice win. And it looks like in the other semi-final, Squiersgate beat Avro on penalties. So both games went to penalties. Highgate United did beat Edgeware Town 3-1. Not entirely unexpected. So now with 3 games left of the season, we are only 3 points clear. But fingers crossed we can get that wrapped up too in the next few rounds. And then we've got a cup final. Chelsea Town book Wembley Place. Oh, are we going to get a massive attendance for this? Because if we do, that's going to be so helpful for our finances. That could save this club. That could actually save this club. That is nuts. We've just received 5.5 thousand for getting to the final. How much do we actually get in the final? Winner gets 30,000. The loser gets 15,000. I mean, we are currently 34,000 in debt. So if we win and get a decent gate receipt from this, we could be comfortably in the black again, finally. I suppose in the white, because that's how Football Manager text works. But yeah, that would be a brilliant way to end the season. So looking at the schedule, I think we are going to go past the Tividale match because that's not going to be important at all. And depending on results, we might be back for the Romulus or the RC Warwick game. The RC Warwick game is obviously going to be very tough for us. And if we win both of these, and so do Highgate, we'll be 3 points clear from at the top. So only a loss could prevent us from winning the league. So I think we need to make sure our goal difference is getting up there. We're 6 clear. But we've seen both us and Highgate can suddenly just score 6 or 7 in a game, no problem at all. And then that will completely swing the goal difference from one way to the other. So, this could be quite a tight finish. But either way, then I think we'll do that for this episode. And then for the next episode, we will be going for the FA Vase final and probably just the end of season wrap up after that. There might be a bit of transfer activity, but it might just be releasing players, to be honest. We'll have to see. So we've just played our match against Tividale, a nice 2-1 victory here. Came on Moncrief with both goals. He did also pick up a yellow card though, which means he is banned for the last 2 league games of the season, which is not at all a situation we want to be in. But it is what it is, and we're just going to have to hope Luciqueno and Morton can carry us through the last 2 games. So we'll just have a quick look at the goals from this one. Started off, nice ball up from Ratchford, drops to Rule, smashes it in. Moncrief with a header just inside the 6-yard area. It's just, every time I see him, it's so funny how much smaller he is than everyone else, and yet he's still banging all the goals in. But then Lake Bryan gets put through by a nice ball over the top, and he slaps it past a clueless-looking Harry Cant in goal. Then Rule puts over Moncrief, who just smashes it in the top corner. It was absolutely beautiful finish and a well-deserved victory overall. I mean, Tividale did give us a game, but overall we were consistently the better side throughout, as you can see from the XG. We were just dominant in pretty much all areas of the pitch. That suspension, however, does mean it's quite likely that Moncrief won't end up as top goal scorer. Nelson Agho is only 2 goals behind him, and with 2 games left and Highgate really gunning for it to make sure that they get maximum points from those games, I think it's quite likely that he won't get the golden boot this season. You know, he's let himself down, to be honest. He's only scored 43 goals in the 29 games he's played. Well, 43 in 31 that he's played this season. I mean, it's just embarrassing after last season's performance. And I have had to confirm the offer from Abington United for Kai Nicholson, so he has left the club. A little disappointing, obviously. He has been with us since the start and has been very important throughout the first season and a very good bench option for the second once I sort of realised there was almost no chance we were keeping him. Matt Ball did kick off about it, but I managed to placate him. Although I think Matt Ball might be going soon because he keeps demanding a new contract. His contract does run out at the end of the season. He keeps demanding a new one, but then every time I try and negotiate a new contract with him, he wants like £200 a week, and that's obviously not going to be possible. And now we have also played a game against Romulus. A nice 2-0 victory for us, Matthew Quino with both goals. And as I said, Highgate are going to be looking to try and get their goal difference up. They've just smashed Bewdley Town 7-2, with Nelson Agho getting 6 goals. So I definitely think that's Cameron Moncrief's golden boot out the window. Let's just go and watch these goals. Luciqueno did not react well to the pre-match team meeting that I did on this, but he definitely put that all behind him once he got on the pitch. Barrel, I think, puts a lovely ball over here. Yep, Luciqueno just slots it in the far side. Before S also putting him through with a nice little pass around the defence here. Gets on the end of it and absolutely rockets it into the far corner. Beautiful finish, beautiful performance, and it all comes down to the last game. And before we get to that, the whole squad are kicking off. Well, Kanina, Kemp and Rami are all unhappy about the promises being broken to them. So we're going to have to try and talk them down from this. I mean, I'm going to go with Kemp first because I think Kemp is going to be out the door regardless. So I apologise and hope we can move forward. Okay. I'm going to have to let you go. Yep. I hope that is not indicative of the others as well, but I feel like it might be. Kemp's just handing a transfer request. Kanina, why couldn't these wait for until one more game has gone through? It's very annoying. Kanina, right, what are we going to go? Because I do want to try a bit harder here. You said a social group like yours is important. Is he in a social group? Dynamic social groups. Oh yeah, everyone's in the social. Of all the times I could possibly run out of hard drive space, I am so annoyed. I've just managed to talk Kanina down from him kicking off. I just used the "you're in a great social group" because he's in the main social group. I just thought we'll give that a shot. I don't know if it's going to work or not. And he said, yeah, sure, he's happy to stay. So I can't quite offer him a new contract yet because he's still down as being unhappy, but I'm hoping we can renew it before the season ends. And do we try the same with Rami, maybe? Yeah, he's also thrilled. So at least I got one of those on camera, even if I completely messed up the other. Oh, God. That's the first time that's happened, but I have still got all of the footage I've recorded since the start of this series on my hard drive, so maybe I need to start clearing some of that out. So it is game day, and we're heading to RC Warwick's place to try and win the title. Obviously, they're a very good side. I think we drew against them in the first game we played, didn't we? Just have a quick look back. It was a 0-0 at Pat Meadow. So we'll have to see how we get on here. While we're playing, obviously, Highgate United are going to be in a very tough game themselves. They're up against Walsall Wood. I am hopeful they will not pick up a victory, which will guarantee us the league. I mean, also, looking at the table, a draw will guarantee us the league, We just need to make sure that we don't lose, basically. If we do lose, then we need Highgate to also lose, because there is almost no chance. What's the goal score? Oh, look at how even those records are. They have scored more than us. If we lose and they win, they will definitely, yeah, because even if it's a 1-0, 1-0, it will have 58 each goal difference, but they will be top because of they've scored way more goals than us. They've got 101 goals and they're looking at coming second in the league. We're just constantly slightly beating out teams that really deserve to be promoted every season. So yeah, I think this is how we're going to be lining up. Jackson in goal, Barrel, Kanina, Button Foreshort, Barrett, Regan, Ratchford, Oliver, Rule, S, and Lusuqueno up front. There wasn't really many decisions to make here. I mean, I do like to play Kemp in defensive midfield, but first of all, he's going to be leaving, and secondly, he picked up an injury, so he's going to be out for 2 months. So he was definitely missing the end of the season. Obviously, Moncrief is still suspended, so he's not going to be able to play up front. So everyone else is sort of just filling in the roles that we've got left. We've got Joe Howe on the bench who could very well have came on. But because we've got such good link-up play between our fullbacks and our wingers, I just figured it was probably for the best that we exploit that as much as possible. The only other person that we haven't got on the pitch that we would probably like to have on the pitch is Dimitris Rami. That's just because he's still unhappy and kicking off a bit, so I don't really want him playing and maybe bringing the team down, but he might end up coming on depending on how things are going. Reece Oliver is definitely not as good of a player as him, but I'm willing to give him the chance in this game to see what we can get out of him. So, Harry Jessup, Dean Pinnington, the two main men up front for RC Warwick. We've now got, this is an important match. Make sure you go out there and give the fans a good performance. Defenders are looking okay, but I'm still just going to bump up to defenders and midfield as much as possible. They are playing in the 4-3-3 that we also play in. They have got a real face in there. It always scares me when someone's got a real face. I always think that means that they're going to be really good. But 139 in attendance to hopefully see us lift the cup at the end of this. An early goal would definitely go a long way to settling my nerves, because I am a little worried about this. Oh, Lusuqueno doesn't quite get a pass off out wide. O'Rourke now. Malaku. Kanina gets on the end of it and it falls to Barrett. Yeah, okay. I was worried that he was just going to stand there and let that roll past him. S can't quite do anything with it. Gets tackled as he's running down the wing. Miles gets the ball upfield, but it falls to us. Now Oliver, Ratchford, Lusuqueno, he's broke through and he's just blasted it over. Just a foot lower, and that could have been a beautiful top corner finish. Now another highlight. Unfortunately, Lusuqueno can't quite get through. I thought that pass was coming a bit too early in the highlight for a goal. Pinnington gives the ball away though, and it comes back to Lusuqueno. No, Miles seems to be getting on the end of everything, but apart from that, S is now through, and S has smashed it in. Lusuqueno and S link up beautifully to put us 1-0 up there. This was a little bit messy, to be honest. But this Miles is just, every header seems to have been going straight to him, and then the one that he loses results in a goal for us. The main S takes it beautifully. Keeper ain't got a chance. 1-0 to Chelmsley Town. The Grand Akpo. One ball, right. Lusuqueno gets it. S. Oh no, it's a nice idea, but Rule was not running at all. Oliver gets the ball though. Can he put it through to S? No, he puts it through to Lusuqueno. That's a fantastic cross, but there's absolutely nobody there to get it. Ball comes back across now. S, it falls to Lusuqueno, and it's off the inside of the post. Oh no, that could have been the dream start for us. I mean, 1-0 up is still very good, but I am worried a bit. We have thrown leads before, especially against some of the better sides in the division. But we're now half an hour in and they haven't created a single thing really. 0.05 XG with one off-target shot. Are we going to get another highlight before half-time? No, we are not. Okay. So that first half couldn't really have gone better for us, apart from if that second Lusuqueno shot had gone in. Do we have any required substitutions? Rule's not been playing brilliant, but I just haven't seen him involved that much. Tommy Barrell at left back is also only on a 6.4. But no, I think I'm going to leave it at least 15 minutes, as I always do. There's nothing urgent that needs changing. Oh, a corner for RC Warwick now. Co steps up. Puts the ball into the back post. Oh, that was a little scary. And it's fallen to the... Oh. Excuse me, Jackson. What was that last ditch attempt to save that? Like, it's annoying because he died for the first shot that got blocked by someone else. And that's, it's understandable that happens. But what is the ball's rolling past his right, and he tries to touch the crossbar. Oh, this is what happens when you get overly eccentric goalkeepers. How are things going at other grounds? Highgate are still 0-0 with Walsall Wood. So as it stands, we're still winning the league by 3 points. I think I'm just going to stay on this screen, to be honest, because this is the one that matters the most. 70th minute. Was that a goal for someone then? I've got to have a look at who that goal was for before I carry on. No, okay. It wasn't one that mattered. It's still 0-0 in that game. I think Rule could come off, and we're going to bring Jack Wilson on. I'm tempted to bring off someone who's on a booking. I mean, Luciqueno has got... It's on a 6.7, so I'm going to bring Devontae Morton on and maybe move him up as a attacking target man instead. Tommy Barrett is having quite an actively bad game, so I'm going to bring Josh Howe on. We're just going to make all 3 subs, try and shore this up. And watch us concede now at the instant that I've made those subs. Okay, no. Ball just falls to Jackson, and hopefully he can get a new move started. Or he can just stand here for 20 minutes and we'll still win the league. That's fine by me. But no, now Cliff got the ball to O'Rourke. Long ball up. Who's getting in the end of that? Jessup. Oh, Jackson might have done enough to put him off. But that was a scary moment of, well, the usual eccentricity we're used to there. I think Highgate just went 1-0 down. And if so, that's brilliant for us. But I'm going to wait until the end of this highlight to confirm it. Okay. Regan. Oh, that's... Oh, I was scared that was not going to get caught by Button Forshaw there. Pennington on the ball now, though. Benton. Long ball over. Kanina gets it away. Oliver. Barrett was a long ball, but I don't think that's going to work, no. That's to absolutely nobody, Oliver. Right, yeah. That's got to be Jackson's. Please don't mess this up. Okay. Get back to your net. Morton, you've got to start going for some of these. No. Okay, we're 2-1 down. Right, fingers crossed that Walsall Wood were 1-0 up against Highgate. I was so tempted before that highlight to switch it to try and keep possession a little bit more. I'm just going to skip because I'm so curious. Yeah, 1-0 to Highgate. So actually, could you imagine it's been such an intense race all season and both teams going for the title lose on the last game? That would be quite funny, and it looks like it could be happening. Shifnal Town winning. Highgate are not. Still 1 minute left. Have we just won the title? We have just won the title for the 2nd season in a row. That was a lot less convincing than the previous season. But I think that's, Nuneaton Griff took us all the way last time, but we did win that with a couple of games to spare. Highgate took us all the way this season, and in the final game of the season, despite a pretty awful performance, Chelmsford Town lift the title. Even the refs are applauding us. I look fantastic in a suit over here. I mean, I actually look very overweight in a suit there. Looking at it, I feel like I've moved my sliders up a little bit too much when I made them a manager. But yeah, fantastic performance. You enjoy it, lads. I can't see who's who on some of these. I feel like that's Barrel because he is our captain and he does look like him. But oh god, that could have gone so much worse than it ended up going. I'm not happy with your performance out there. Let's really make sure that they know they need to do better. Chelmsford Town win the Midland Football League Premier Division. We have had some incredible results along the way, but we'll get into that in the next episode in the end of season wrap-up. We lift the title on the final day. Initial budgets for next season are 2.1 thousand wage budget and a transfer budget of 3.8. What are we currently at this year? I keep clicking on the wrong things here. Finances I meant to click on. So we've got a good amount of breathing room in that wage budget. We could potentially bring in some decent players that aren't going to have to be on like £20 a week to get by. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. What else have we got? Gilpin brings glory to Chelmsford Town. Yes, I did. Thank you very much. Board delighted. No one won the league in those 2 seasons, apparently. That's a little odd. Jackson is happy that the promise is kept. Rule is happy that the promise has been kept. And the club vision objectives have been passed. And the fans and board are going to be buzzing with me. Perfect. Have we got... Because all season I keep checking this. Yeah. The board think we're doing an A+ job. The supporters think we're doing a B. We've just won back-to-back promotions, winning the league both times, and they think we're you're doing good, but you're not perfect. Slightly heartbreaking. Josh Barrett is out of the FA Vase final. That's very disappointing, being as he's been our key right back since he came to the squad. 29 games, 7.06 rating. Yeah, he's been pretty integral for how we've played at the back this year. And yeah, despite a pretty turgid last game there, losing 2-1 to RC Warwick, that is an incredibly successful season for us. So I think we'll leave that there, and then in the next episode, we'll be taking on our first ever cup final, our first proper cup final. I know we did a few Brummy Bonanzas last season, but it's usually FA Vase final against Squiresgate. Yeah, let's see how we get on with that. So thank you very much for watching this season. If you've enjoyed it, maybe leave a like or a comment down below. They really do help out a great deal, and they mean a hell of a lot to me as well. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll be back next time for our first trip to Wembley. See you then.